Assalamu alaikum, my dear brothers and sisters. Surah 104 of the Holy Quran, Surah Al-Humazah, the slanderer. And does our community have many slanderers? My Lord, you look around the Muslim world and it's unbelievable how many people slander and how many are a victim of slander. I'm sure you guys at one stage or another have experienced the evil effects of slanderers. I've experienced them a couple of times. And so what you find is that, unfortunately, you look around you in society and slander has become a norm. Yes, you might find that there are certain courts which will give judgments against slander, defamation of character, and so on. But you also know in many cases, most people get away with slander without anybody even knowing who they are. Because we live in a world of keyboard warriors. And when you live in a world of keyboard warriors, it's unbelievable that there is no difference between 2020 and Mecca in the time of the likes of Al-As bin Wa'il and Walid ibn al-Mughira. The only difference is technology. With a keyboard warrior, you can slander or destroy someone's character in an instant, but you could always have an alias account. No one will know it's you. For all you know, the person sitting closest to you could be, not yourself, the major slanderer. Or it could be someone who is a fervent enemy. And without a doubt, it's a disease of the soul. Okay, there are certain diseases which the Quran wants to look at, which are diseases of the soul that no pharmacy can give me a prescription for. If I'm a person who constantly does ghiba, or namima, or buhtan, then I fall into the category which this surah wanted to discuss. Because those diseases of backbiting, gossip, and slandering are diseases which are looked at in Islamic ethics as sometimes being chronic diseases. There are some people, even in our communities, they fit the bill of this surah. Meaning what? Meaning that if you want to know the BBC news of the Iraqi community, go and sit with them. All you have to do is press play, and he will tell you, yesterday this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened. And sometimes the more religious they look, the more gossip they have. Because sometimes you might think that the one who's religious, you might think that this person doesn't really know what's happening, or the person has taqwa and iman, always has a sibha in their hand and a big ring like me to show that I'm sort of religious. But you find at the same time that that person could be somebody who's a devil in disguise. Reality is every field in the world today, the human being can be affected by the disease of slander. And no doubt it's a disease that if I have it, I have to find a cure for it. Because when you look within the Holy Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on numerous occasions reminds us that the slanderer, hell awaits them. The backbiter, it's like eating your own dead brother's flesh. That vivid description highlighted that Islam never wanted a group of people who in the previous surah, Surah Al-Asr, had claimed, we are mu'min, and we have a'mal salihah, and we are of the type who, for example, enjoying the truth and enjoying the patience. But we gotta enjoy some gossip, bro. Like, don't you understand? Like, I'm a believer and I do good deeds. Last week, wallah, I gave money to the orphans and I love Ahlul Bayt and so on. But you know what, Sayyidina, like, gossip and slander, how can the night be enjoyable unless we have some? We have to hang someone on the laundry and try and destroy their reputation. And we have to try and do it. And sometimes, something we have to always be wary of is sometimes, as the previous surah showed us, when you have free time, don't use it just to sit there and destroy. You see, all of us hang around cafes. There's not one of us here sitting down or even in the audience. We enjoy sitting and hanging around cafes. Sometimes if we were to press a recording of what we discussed that night, do you think we've discussed a lot of beneficial things? Or do we fall in the category of إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خَاسٍ? What type of loss is that? What did you discuss? This guy, this girl, that guy, this girl, guy, girl, family, girl, guy. There's no mention of Ahlul Bayt. There's no mention of the Quran. There's no mention of these discussions. I don't mind if a person reaches a stage where they might discuss the community affairs, but don't let that be your whole point of getting together and discussing. So what you therefore have is there's two different groups of people we see in Meccan society when Surah Al-Humazah is revealed. On the one hand, you have those personalities who used to sit with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. Whenever an ayah of the Holy Quran would come down, he would give them tafsir of that ayah. Look at what their gathering is about. Their gathering is to try and build their character, develop their character, evolve their character, grow their character. Then you had who? You had the groups who were there in Mecca. Their whole gatherings were full of slander. But their gatherings were full of slander, but their slander went even further. Let's examine this. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wailun. Wail can mean two things. Either wail means, for example, woe. Yes. Meaning that woe be to those people who do such a thing. Okay? Or wail is a particular part of hellfire, which is reserved for certain groups of people. In my series on death, I'm sure many of you remember that I was giving the different levels of hell and what sins you would have committed for you to go to that particular level of hell. Wail, according to some of the scholars of Quranic exegesis, Tafsir, they say that wail is a particular part of hell. That part of hell is reserved for who? We already came across wail. Which surah did I come across wail? Where we spoke just a few episodes ago. Who can remember which surah mentioned wailun? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ فَذَلِكَ الَّذِي يَدْعُ الْيَتِيمَ وَلَا يَحُضُّ عَلَى طَعَامِ الْمِسْكِينِ فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ. Woe to the musalli, or there's a part of hell is for those who pray, وَلَكِنْ their salah sahun yura'un. Their salah is just about showing off. They have no intention of talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have wailun lil musallin. Here what do we have? Wailun likulli humazatil lumazah. Woe to every slanderer and defamer. There are two types of people you'll find in society. There are those who chat behind your back. There are those who chat in front of you. Both of them are not things which are meant to be seen as positive. You know, there are certain people who say, you know what, if you're a munafiq, I'll tell you in your face. Should I tell you in your face? Ma عندك قلب? Yeah, you don't have a heart? You just blatantly in front of someone, you're like, I don't like you, you're a this, you're a that, you're a the other. La, 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 la. There are two types of people. There are those in their gatherings when you're not there, they are slandering. Slander means what? When you say something about somebody, for example, in contrast to backbiting. Marat we hear ghiba, backbiting. Marat we hear slander. Ghiba, I'm saying the truth about someone behind their back, but I know they wouldn't like me to mention it. Slander, I'm saying something false about someone behind their back, knowing they wouldn't want me to mention it. Someone says, Sayyidina, you know when I do ghiba, I'm saying the truth. Yani ma jadshadab, I'm saying the truth. Who said that saying the truth means it's okay? The criteria for ghiba, backbiting, is talking about something, about that person that you know they wouldn't like you to talk about. In your right mind, that person that you're looking at, in your right mind, you think they want you to talk about that particular part of their life? Wallah, يعني ask yourself. If truly, as the previous surah said, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. خلينا نشوف العمل الصالح. This is عمل الصالح. And so why are you ruining all the other a'mal which are salihah with this act? Did you have to talk behind that person? Do you have to mention that thing? Because one of the things about backbiting and slandering is what? One of them is you just need 2-3 seconds hold back. You'll realize there was no need for me to even talk about this. What have I even gained? What have I gained? I've actually given thawab to the person I'm attacking. What have I gained? By talking about this thing, people laughed, laughed, they just 10 minutes laughed, and then what's happened? What's happened? I've ended up with my character showing that it's full of diseases. Secondly, would you like them to talk about you in that way? So why do you like something for others, but when it comes for yourself, no, you cannot talk behind my back. Ana sama'at in the gathering last time you were talking behind my back. But when you talk behind people's back, it's okay. How comes when others talk about you? Therefore, what you have, ghiba. I'm saying the truth about someone behind their back, but what? But I know that they wouldn't want me to say it. What's the difference with slander? Slander is I'm saying something false about them behind their back, and I know that they wouldn't even want me to say this because it has no truth to it whatsoever. How many of us have sat in a gathering where we are a hammaz or a lammaz? Where either we have sat in a gathering where someone's not there and attacked them and have backbitten them, or we've sat in a gathering where we've made a false accusation about someone in front of their face and it turned out that it was completely wrong. How many of us? And that's why, do you know what the problem is for the hammaz and the lammaz? For the slanderer and the defamer? What's their problem? They need to ask for forgiveness from the person. Allah won't forgive. Why do you think the text messages around the time of Hajj increase? Hajj time, everyone Sayyidina, if you could please forgive me. Sayyidina, please forgive me. Sayyidina, please forgive me. Sayyidina, please forgive me. I gather that most of these please forgive me are people who are just sincere. They're just saying that, you know what, we're going to Hajj just in case. Amongst those are also those who blatantly know that, you know what, I need to send this message because I did sit in a gathering and I was a hammaz. Blatantly behind the back, I was slandering someone's character. That person on the day of judgment, it isn't a case of, for example, me saying that, you know what, I'm going to ask Allah for forgiveness. You have to go to the person right now and you have to say to him, Sayyidina, Shaykhna, Habibi, Mawlai, forgive me. I said something which I realized later I shouldn't have. I ask for your forgiveness. In my own life, I've had this. In my own life, I've had text messages when people said, we sat in a gathering where we talked about you in a way that was wrong. Sayyidina, please forgive me. And straight away I'll say, who am I not to forgive you? At the end of the day, I have things which I need Allah to forgive me. So of course I forgive you, no problem. But that person realized a surah begins with wail, you best pay attention to it. Then adatan al-Quran doesn't begin with hell. Quran rarely begins a surah with wail. Quran might begin وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا. Quran might begin إِذَا الشَّمْسُ كُوِّرَتْ. Quran might say أَلَمْ تَرَ كَيْفَ فَعَلَ رَبُّكَ بِأَصْحَابِ الْفِيلِ. When it begins with hell, then whatever's coming next, I have to realize that I need to sort that thing out ASAP. وَيْلٌ لِكُلِّ هُمَزَةٍ لُمَزَةٍ is that there are two types of people in society. There are those who sit in gatherings, you're not there. There are those who front bite you, not backbite you. Why do they front bite you? Because they can never see good in you. They always want to find faults in people. Nabi Isa alayhi salam has a story, the Prophet Jesus, which highlights to you why he's a prophet and why we're not. He was with his disciples. They were walking. There was a dog in the street and it stunk. The worst smell. One of his disciples said, what a smell, stinks. That person, when he said that, you know what Nabi Isa said? Did you not notice his beautiful white teeth? Dog, street. All of them are thinking, smell. He said, look at the beautiful white teeth the dog had. Didn't any of you want to mention that? Ask the human being, you give us a white piece of paper, there's a black dot in the corner. Most of us say, why is there a black dot? Here, the whole paper is white. Well, there's a small black dot there on the paper. People will say, Sayyidina, why is there a black dot? Habibi, all that white. You're only focusing on the black? That is the hammaz and the lammaz. They want to focus on the one bad area of someone and forget all their good. You know this person has done a lot of good work. I heard something. The thing that you heard compared to the amount of good that that girl has done, what is it? There's more good or more bad? But we, the human being, love to focus on what? On the one bad, and we forget the many good. In our community, we have this. If you hear, for example, about someone who may be in the religious field. You hear one thing about them that was bad, just one thing. And that's not even confirmed. You know what the second problem is with the Hammaz and Lammaz? Doesn't verify with the person. If now I heard something about you, someone came and said to me that I heard that this person's like this and this, I could sit with you and say, listen, Habibi, may I ask you a question? Sincerely, I want to ask you. And please, don't get offended by what I'm saying to you. Someone said this to me. Is it true? Because I'm surprised that it would come from you. Do we do that? I guarantee you, with most news, we never verify it. I guarantee you, we have done so much dhulm to people that I don't know what is in store for us on the Day of Judgment, except that on a night like this, we say, Astaghfirullah Rabbi wa atubu ilayh. Because there are so many people who have been the victims of dhulm because of people in our community who are either Hammaz or Lammaz. In our community, people who are not divorced have been accused of being divorced. People who are not married have been accused of being married. People who are not corrupt have been accused of being corrupt. You say, Enta, you heard both sides? La, I don't need to hear both sides, Sayyidina. The one side that I heard was enough for me. Question number one, hear both sides. Why didn't you? Question number two, what benefit anyway do you have with you taking this news and giving it to others? A person came to Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam, said to him, Imam, someone was speaking about you. He said, yes, that person shot the arrow, you made sure it reached me. They were speaking about the Imam, true. They shot an arrow. Why did you make sure it hit me? Divert it. Lammaz may say something in front of you, but what they are saying is causing trouble. Or they may say something behind you. What they are saying is causing trouble. If now I know someone has said something bad about me, and they've said it to you, you can either come to me and say, just be careful. I'm not going to say who, but generally there is this talk. Or you might give me the name purposely so that that arrow not only hits me, but you start causing trouble between the people. When Allah says, hell awaits the slanderers and the defamers. When I now hear people, for example, we have the Iraqi government back home. I hear people attacking every single person in the government. Habibi, we paint everyone the same brush? Everyone? The same person, if the same corruption was happening with a member of his family, doesn't say anything. And the ta'assub. This is from my qabila, from my ashira. When it's someone else doing it, with their tongue. When it's in their family, I can't talk with ibn ammi. That asabiyya, when it's mixed with buhtan and namima, is a dangerous poison. Because what's missing in all of it? Justice. When you are a Hammaz or a Lammaz, you're unjust. Why? Because you don't know the ins and outs of that story. You don't know what her story is. Recently, someone in the community came to me. He said to me, there is a video of a girl in our community. She's spoken about certain things in a particular way. I said, what do you know about the background of this girl? What do you know what she's been through in life? And so when you're coming with this piece of news and you're showing it to me, what are you knowing about this girl and her background? How do I know what she's gone through in her childhood? How do I know what people have oppressed her? You're coming with this, how does it benefit us? Say, but Sayyidina, it's public. Even if it's public, don't let it reach everyone. On the one hand, I can go to the person and say, may Allah have mercy on those who show me my faults. If you know the person perfectly, talk to them. Otherwise, don't go around destroying people. Because the basis of slander and defame is injustice. And Allah does not like the unjust. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Waylun likulli humazatil lumazah. Woe to every slanderer. I don't care. Sheikh, Sayyid, Maulana, I don't care who it is. Waylun likulli. Don't come and tell me, Fulan, my dad and him are best friends. Ma aqdar ahki. Anyone who is found to be someone who seeks to destroy people becomes like Al-As bin Wa'il, Walid ibn al-Mughira. Al-As bin Wa'il, Walid ibn al-Mughira, at that time, they were the ones who had the filthy tongue. They go around to everyone, هذا Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Majnoon. Majnoon. هذا ما عنده علم. How many times do you hear someone? You go, Ammar Nakshawani? No knowledge. And so you're looking at him and he's saying to you, no, Mama, there's no knowledge. Wallah, if he had 18 inches of cloth on his head, I will say he's got knowledge. It makes a difference because 18 inches of cloth then suddenly raises my IQ. More cloth puts IQ. انت what's your concern؟ هو جاي يخدم سيد فلان جاي يخدم، انت اذا تقدر اخدم مثله you go and serve. ترى اقول لك والله ما دارس. هذا منهال الخفاجي قاعد هنا. منهال بخليه. They put him on the منبر 16, 17, 18 years old. حبيبي, why don't you love for him what you love for yourself? Instead of going to him and saying, MashaAllah, at a young age, you are talking about Ahlul Bayt. Best, maybe he has ayub. If he has certain ayub, I have ayub, others have ayub. Talk to us as a brother. تواصوا بالحق. تواصوا بالصبر. Enjoin with each other. ويل لكل همزة لمزة, because at that time, العاص بن وائل يقعد ويا واحد أقول لك هذا محمد شاعر ومجنون. Some people get affected by this. يقول لك والله I will never listen to Rasulullah again. جعلوا أصابعهم في آذانهم واستغشوا. You know, like in the story of Nabi Nuh عليه السلام. What did they do? So literally, جعلوا أصابعهم في آذانهم. I'm not listening to you anymore, bro. I'm not listening. I'm not listening to you anymore means what? Muharram 10 nights. I'm not listening. Shahr Ramadan. I'm not listening. I don't care. I'm not listening to you anymore. خلاص بعد I'm not listening. Because of one person telling them not to listen. Hammaz, Lamaz. Quran didn't say Hammaz and Lamaz are bad people. وَيْلٌ لِكُلِّ هُمَزَةٍ لُمَزَةٍ. Hell awaits these. ليش? Because they blocked a person from progressing. أنت شعلك. أنت why are you involved? You could have encouraged others to learn and listen, and instead what did you do? You blocked another person from listening. 5 years later, تسمع هذا صاير ملحد. This person become atheist. This person's not religious. Had they listened to those lectures, wouldn't they have been religious? How many times do you hear people saying, Wallah, if I had listened 10 years ago. بس سمعت كلام هذا قال لي لا تسمع, and I regret it. How many? This happens to all around the world. They defame an imam of a masjid. They defame the committee of a masjid. For what reason? وَيْلٌ لِكُلِّ هُمَزَةٍ لُمَزَةٍ. Al-As bin Wa'il, Walid ibn al-Mughira, going around. هذا محمد مجنون, هذا محمد شاعر, هذا كاهن, هذا شو تسي, هذا all أساطير الأولين. He's got a teacher. لا تسمع كلامه, لا تسمع. هذا is nothing. وقدامه شاعر, مجنون, كاهن. وَيْلٌ لِكُلِّ هُمَزَةٍ لُمَزَةٍ. And why do they do all of this? They've got all the money in the world and they have so much free time. The surah before it, what did it say? وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. هذا الإنسان who's deep in a state of loss, who's completely lost, you may find in some cases they have enough power that all they want to do is sit back. أقول لك تعال اليوم للديوانية. Come to the diwaniyah. Let's sit and slander everyone in the community. الذي جمع مالا وعدد. What is this person who's slandering and backbiting? Al-As bin Wa'il, Walid Mughira, they are like those who today their only concern is what? I'm gaining money, I'm making money, and I want to see who else is making. Shaif Aku, sometimes you have these Forbes list comes out, the 100 richest people in the UK. There are some people, believe you me, he'll keep checking. Am I 100? Am I 98? Who's 97? Who's 93? Who's 92? There are some, I have this much money, and you know what? Who else has money? How do they earn their money? I go like, how did he become so rich? How does he drive a nice car? How did he earn what he earns? How did they do that? Quran said, وَيْلٌ لِكُلِّ هُمَزَةٍ لُمَزَةٍ الَّذِي جَمَعَ مَالًا وَعَدَّدَ. What does he think? يَحْسَبُ أَنَّ مَالَهُ أَخْلَدَ. What does he think? He thinks that if I have all this money and I can attack everybody, I'm wealthy, I'll attack Muhammad, I'll attack his Sahaba sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, I'll attack everybody, this money of mine will let me live forever. If Fir'aun couldn't live forever, no one will. Fir'aun with all his money, if he couldn't live forever, nobody will. Qarun, the key to open the safe of his money had to be carried by, let's say, over 50 people. Bas al-Miftah. The key of Qarun, Fir'aun, Qarun, Haman, deadly trio. money, especially Fir'aun and Qarun. The fara'ina of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa time, who are they? Walid ibn al-Mughira, Al-As bin Wa'il, Abu Jahl, Abu Lahab. Sit back, defame people, slander people, call him Majnoon, sit back on their money. Why? Because he fell in the trap of thinking my money will mean I will live forever. I beg you, is there anyone on this world with all the money that they have? Wallah, the iPhone they can make it, and the iPad they can make it. When the pancreas is affected, isn't he finished? Can he make technology to save his pancreas? He made technology for us to speak to each other anyway. But that technology can save his pancreas? No. All the money in the world. أَيَحْسَبُ what? يَحْسَبُ أَنَّ مَالَهُ أَخْلَدَ. He thinks that his wealth will make him what? Immortal. كَلَّا. Never. لَيُنْبَذَنَّ فِي الْحُطَمَةِ. He shall be hurled in the hutama. You know, sometimes you say, ahattama, you know what, I'm going to crush him. كلا لينبذن في الحطمة وما أدراك ما الحطمة. He's certainly going to be crushed. It will be a crushing disaster. What will make you even understand what is a crushing disaster? Narullahi al-muqada. It is a fire which is kindled by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not me and you. Me and you, we make a fire. It can cause trouble. When Allah kindles a fire, yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's fires above our fires. But there's a question here. When it's saying that these people will be crushed, what's going to be crushed? When they're in hell, that arrogance that they have is going to be crushed and crushed and crushed. Because the next ayah says it's not the body. التي تطلع على الأفئدة. الأفئدة, what is it? الأفئدة. أفئدة doesn't mean the physical heart. الأفئدة is talking about the attitude or the spiritual position that you're in, that what's going to happen in hellfire is that the hellfire's role isn't just to burn you over and over again, is to try and crush that arrogance out of you. That's why if a person enters hell, if they are able to get rid of that arrogance, they can leave hell. Because a person asked the question, if you're in hell in Islamic thought, can you get out? Of course you can. This is the surah that highlights you can get out and highlights when the doors get locked. Someone says, what do you mean, Sayyidina? You could be in hell, you still have a chance to get out. As long as when you saw hell, the takabbur that you had, and the characteristic and attitude that you had, you have finally realized that I want to get rid of it. Finished. Al-Hutama, what is it? Crushes it out of you. Some people, it crushes it out of them completely. Other people, it doesn't crush it out of them. There are some in hell, khalidina fiha abada. Do you agree? There are some, the Quran says, khalidina fiha illa, masha'Allah. What's the difference between the two? Because people always ask me, when someone is in hell, will they stay there forever? Some will, others no. Hamran comes to Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam. He asks Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam about hellfire. When the Quran says, وَيْلٌ لِكُلِّ هُمَزَةٍ لُمَزَةٍ الَّذِي جَمَعَ مَالًا وَعَدَّدَ يَحْسَبُ أَنَّ مَالَهُ أَخْلَدَ كَلَّا لَيُنبَذَنَّ فِي الْحُطَمَةِ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الْحُطَمَةِ نَارُ اللَّهِ الْمُوقَدَ. He asked him that when those people are in hell, do they stay there forever? A person who didn't make it to heaven is in hell. Do they stay there forever? Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam said there is a time in hell where the people who are kuffar and those who are mushrikun will turn around to those who believed in Tawheed but did not do all the good deeds. الذين آمنوا. بس العمل الصالح they were lacking in. مرات يستغيب, sometimes backbiting. مرات gossip. مرات slanderer. Yes, hammaz lamaz. So they're in hell. The kuffar and the mushrikeen in hell call out to those who follow Tawheed. All of you follow Tawheed. What did it do for you? Look where you all are now. Those people get hurt by that statement. That these people are laughing at us, Ya Allah. You put us in hellfire and we believed in La ilaha illallah. Because there is an opinion, anyone who believed in La ilaha illallah and was not a mujrim or a munafiq, that person will eventually go to Jannah. Someone says, on which basis? Anyone who believed in La ilaha, anyone who believed in La ilaha illallah, who was not a mujrim, zalim, munafiq. Maybe they had the characteristics of gossip, slander, these characteristics. Maybe that is what led them to hell. On that period in hell, while they're in hell, the disbelievers, the polytheists, make fun of them. What did your Tawheed do for you? Look where you are. You're in the same place as us. At that moment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that they are making fun or talking about those who believe in my oneness. Go towards them. O angels, take them out of hell and put them in heaven. Some people think the doors of hell are locked. Once you're in that jail, you're not getting out. In Islamic thought, the doors of hell may be locked, but after a number of people, of the inmates of hell, eventually are taken out to go to Jannah. The doors are locked where? When you look here, إِنَّهَا عَلَيْهِمْ مُؤْصَدَةٌ. Surely it shall be closed upon them فِي عَمَدٍ مُمَدَّدَةٍ. In extended columns. Can you imagine the sight now? إِنَّهَا عَلَيْهِمْ مُؤْصَدَةٌ means it's going to be closed upon them. All of a sudden you can't get out. Because you know what they try and do? They try and all escape. In hell, they keep getting to different parts of hell. And mu'sada is like the threshold. They keep on trying to jump over. They keep on trying to get out. Well, imagine if I'm in an oven. It's in my metaphorical language. I'm in an oven. I'm going to try and get out. These people keep trying to get out. Keep trying to get out. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, we have a tradition every few thousand years can go into hell and take people out. And the malaika as well, Allah asks them, those who believed in my oneness, take them out of hell. This idea that anyone who goes to hell will never come out is not in Islamic thought. In Islamic thought, the mujrim, zalim, munafiq, the worst of the worst. Who are they? التي تطلع على الأفئدة. When the hell comes upon their hearts, there's no change in their attitude. Same takabbur, same ijram, same evil. Instead, they don't even just see hell. They start actually attacking everybody else. Those people will stay in hell forever. Whereas the ones who suddenly realize that, you know what? I can see that this arrogance that I had when I'm in here, what has attacked it? Al-Hutamah. Hattam, al-arrogance. Muhattam al-jism. It's not the body that gets crushed. One body, okay, you get crushed, body is made again. The tahtim that takes place is what? It's constant crushing of the bad vices that you had. Until you're purified, then God says, welcome to Jannah. Therefore, the aim of Surah Al-Humazah was to highlight that in society, having slanderers, having defamers is always the cause of destruction in society. Those slanderers and defamers, some of them, their character continues into Jahannam. Whereas others of them, maybe even in Jahannam, that's taken out from them. Thank you all for listening. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
Mm-hmm.